Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I'm your host, Nick. I'm joined, as always, by my brother, Josh.
Why, hello everyone. Good morning, afternoon, or evening.
You were trying so hard not to say good morrow.
I was.
I,
That was a good save though.
I saw it. I saw it. The amp started to come out, and you caught yourself. You're like, good morning, evening,
Good
night to everyone.
good morning.
Morning. Gotcha. It's night here. We're recording. I just got back from Little League baseball. And if you are a new parent considering Little League baseball, consider two things. Does your youngin like to be like hot and sweaty? And do they like to stand around? Actually, three things. Do they like to like be hot and sweaty? Do they like to stand around? And do they like to stand around being hot and sweaty? Because if you answered no to any of those, your kid's not gonna have a good time in Little League.
Now, I have three questions to this.
I may have three answers, so go ahead, shoot.
So the first being, did he actually enjoy it?
For the first 45 minutes, he had a good time. He's terrible, but he's 5 years old, so that's given in the territory.
Of course.
But I don't know. It's just the go ahead, go through the rest of your questions, and then I'll
Uh,
give my overall feel.
Question two, is it actually called Little League or is it called T-ball?
It's t-ball.
Okay. You said Little League and then the text said T-ball, and I'm like, well, there's a big difference. Little League to me is like you're in elementary school playing it, and it's like you may have like a parent tossing the ball, like serving it, but uh if not, you have some kid who's trying to throw it overhand, and it just is, it's Lob City.
Right. No, this is t-ball. We've got the little T. The kids have no idea what's going on. And then
Of course they don't.
what's your third question?
Did you get into any fights? Did you have
Mm,
to fight a parent?
no, I took my shirt off, but it didn't escalate any further than that.
They got intimidated. They're like, "Oh shit, this guy works
Oh,
out."
shit.
Uh.
I got taken away by park security. I thought this was America. I thought this was America.
Did
No,
he mace you?
everyone was very tame. Everyone kept the level heads. I I was not trying to be a helicopter parent. I don't want to be that helicopter parent. I don't give a shit if my son is good or bad at t-ball. I just want him to enjoy himself and make friends. He was being cute. He was taking his glove and putting it on people's heads while they're in line waiting to do a drill. He would run over and I would like distract him by like, "Oh, here I had a big like water Tervis or whatever. But here, take a drink. All right, now go back and get in line." But just some of the way the coaches are working with the kids, they're they're coaching it like they're coaches, and it's like, yeah, like I
They're
understand you want to teach them fundamentals, but these are 4, 5, and 6 year olds. Like for example, my son, he's going to throw the ball, and it's dog shit form. He's 5 years old. What can you do? And I'm his dad. I'm not going to be able to teach him how to throw it properly. I can barely throw. But no, so my son, he's cocking the ball back. Like it looks like he's gonna throw it, right? You're like, oh, that looks
right.
good. And this dipshit coach is like, no, no, you need to move your arm like this. And I'm just like, dude, he's 5. Who cares where his arm's at? Just let him throw it and like cheer him on.
Hey, 5 is a very fundamental age. This is like the perfect time for them to get that pitcher's rotation going, so that by the time he hits high school, he can start being scouted for the MLEs, the major leagues. He can even be, if not major leagues, he can at least be like a double A.
Look, he's 5, but I've already got his Tommy John surgery scheduled for next week. We gotta you gotta nip that in the bud early.
His fastball is currently at 30 miles per hour. We got to get that up a little bit more. You know what I
You
mean?
you should see his sinker though. His sinker's real. What's the old ass man? Clint Eastwood sitting sitting on the edge of the park like with a speed gun. Like, oh my god, that 5-year-old just threw a
Hey,
fucking heater.
Hey, if his daughter, I know it's not his daughter, but the character or the actress who played as his daughter is actually there. I'm okay. Yeah, let that old man stare all he wants. I'm gonna stare at his daughter.
We're talking about Trouble with the Curve, right?
Yeah, that's the one where he's like basically ready to retire, but he brings his daughter in. And she's got the eye like he does.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's his name? Shaggy is
Oh yeah,
antagonist.
Jesus, he's in that movie.
He is. He's like the head. He's like trying to get the head job and trying to get his player going because he's like, oh well, we ran all the simulations and this guy will do good. No, I got the eye, kid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The kid can't fucking hit a fastball.
Yeah, I remember there's a scene in that movie where it's like a bunch of old scouts sitting around a table talking old baseball, and Matthew
Yep.
Lillard walks in and he's like, "Sydney's father."
Yeah.
I'm getting my movies mixed up. That was him in Scream.
Yeah.
He walks in and he looks Clint Eastwood in the eyes and says, my mom's gonna be so mad at me."
Is
He's
that before or after he stabs his best friend?
he's good in Scream. I'm kind of like weird about what they're gonna do with that Scream sequel where all the bad guys are coming back. I imagine it's a dream sequence or something.
If not a dream sequence, I imagine it's like some like, "Hey, we collected all this shit," and it's like them monologuing or I don't know. I imagine it's just a bunch more monologuing, honestly.
Well, in that series, so the lady who's no longer in it because of some of the stuff she said about the conflict over in Israel or in Gaza. So she was let go, and then the girl who
Jenna
plays
Ortega and, can't
Ortega
remember the other one.
Ortega stepped away, and then they brought back not Sydney Prescott. Who the fuck is Sydney Prescott? I forget her. Nave Campbell. They bring Nave Campbell back, and th- so the girl that they let go originally, like Billy is her dad,
Right.
and so what if there's like a killer who's like what if it's like a you remember that movie Identity
Yeah.
where there are all these people at this hotel and they're all reined in and they all start dying. And then spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie, 22-year-old movie at this point. It's
Jesus.
revealed that it's revealed that there's this guy who is like on trial for murder and they're trying to get him off on the technicality that he has multiple personality disorder. And the twist ends up being that all these people we've been seeing die are his personalities.
Yep.
What if the killer has like all these killers talking to him? And maybe they're not killing each other, but they're all like, "Do it, Josh. Do it. Kill Sydney. We all tried to do it. We couldn't get her. Come on, Josh."
Shit, what if it's Cindy who comes back and she's the actual she's Ghostface. She sees all of them.
Have you been on the Scream Reddit? Because I feel like that's been posted like
I'm
every other
sure that's
day.
been I'm pretty sure that's like the like every new one they're like, "Oh, she's finally snapped, guys. She's no longer the good person. Dewey's dead. Um, fuck, what's her name? Gail's dead." I literally every single person at this point, except for her, has died.
Man, Dewey dying in that remake, that requel.
Hmm.
I was like, damn, you're really gonna kill him? Crazy, man, crazy. But hey, he got
He was like the
killed.
best part. He was like the best part of the whole thing, though.
But you know what? He got killed by Mickey Madison from not Mickey. Is it Mickey Madison from Honora?
I think it is Mickey Madison. I think you're right.
Yeah, it was her. So I was like, you know what? She can act her ass off. So you know what? I'm fine with her. If it were anyone else, I'd have. If it were that Quaid kid, that nepo baby Quid, I'd be angry. I'd be super mad. But no, Mickey got it. How did we get here from? We got here from T-ball.
Because we talked about Clint Eastwood and Matthew is the antagonist of that movie, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it led all the way to Scream. Yeah, so T-ball was great for the first 45 minutes, and then my son lost his mind the last 15 minutes. Didn't want to go field, and the way it's set up, the first 30 minutes they're running drills. Last 30 minutes they meet up with another team and play a game. I'm air quoting, and then everybody goes home. And he's in this thing where like he acts up because he knows if he acts up enough, he might get to go home because he's seen a friend in preschool do that a bunch. So now he's like, there's I think there's something to this acting up stuff because I really want to go home and watch Adventure Time, or I really want to go home and play Minecraft or something. And so we've been in the no, dude, knock it the fuck off. You are you are staying. We don't care how bad you are. We are staying the whole time. So we stayed the whole time, and we were like, hey, if you're not going to be out there fielding and you're going to be over here crying, we're just going to watch. We're staying here the whole time. I don't care how hot you are. We know you're hydrated. I gave you water.
Kids these days. Why don't they just like pestering mom and dad? Can we go home now? Can we go home now?
Well, it's tough because when he acts up, it's one of those things where it's like, man, people are gonna think we're iPad parents, but we don't give him. He doesn't touch a tablet. He doesn't touch an iPad. He watches movies. He does watch movies, but like that's when we're like, okay, we're putting your thing on. We're gonna watch it for. We'll watch this. It's Saturday, so we'll watch a whole movie. Or it's all right, 10 minutes before bed, or not 10 minutes before bed, but all right. you get to watch this 10 minutes for 10 minutes, and then we're getting ready for bed. Uh, and then I play Minecraft with him down here. Like if he had a good day at school, that's what he's working towards. So when he acts up like that, it's like, oh, we're bad parents.
I
And
mean, it makes you feel
everyone,
everybody I'm pretty sure every parent is thinking that to themselves, including me. Like, I mean, Charlie's obviously not even that old, but I'm sitting there like every time she's like getting upset for no reason, I'm like, I'm a terrible parent.
well, Josh, you're not a terrible parent yet. You've got some
No, not yet.
years.
I've
You've got some years.
she hasn't realized it yet. She's still in that early stage of yeah, I can fuck up and it's okay
She's cute. She can do whatever she wants.
for
Oh,
now.
you. No, you've got, just don't shake the baby, Josh. You'll be okay.
Oh, I that was only like the first 2 weeks. I've not had thought that since.
For everyone wondering, he is kidding. He is joking. Do not come and
Or
check.
am I?
No, I checked
No,
on
I'm
my
totally
niece.
joking.
She is fine. But no, yeah, everyone, you just, when you're out and your kid's acting up in public, all you can do is stand there and be like, everyone knows that I'm a bad parent now. Everyone is standing here looking at me saying, that guy, I'm better than that guy as a parent. I
Well,
know I am.
I mean, Nick, does it make you feel good at least knowing that you're doing better than Amy and Greg combined?
Uh, it's a low bar. It's a low bar to cross. Like, you
I
don't
know
even
it's a
have to
very low
jump.
bar,
You just
but
step.
doesn't it feel good knowing that man, it takes very little effort and I'm already doing like 10 times, not 20 times better than they were?
Like, do you remember the football, the ladder that you would step over and do like the foot,
Yeah.
the the quick feet thing? That's the bar that Amy and Greg set. So we're just we're sidestepping the ladder, we're hopscotching the ladder, whatever. No, it's fine. But we've been talking about parent stuff for a little bit here. Let's get some chores out of the way and get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast. Everyone, this is Smashing Game Time. We are wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, and YouTube proper, where you can see our wonderful faces. We do have a video version. People like that for some reason. I don't know why. We also have a website where you can see the video and audio version. That is smashinggametime.com. Go check that out. The the reviews and the stars don't really mean anything to us because we don't fuck with the algorithm. You know the words. Say
Oh,
if
you
you
changed it up.
if you know the words, say them with me. Josh, you too. Fuck the
Fuck the
algorithm.
algorithm. Tell a
Tell a
friend.
friend. That's right. We should get t-shirts for with that on there.
I keep saying we should do it, and I think we need to pull the trigger and finally do it. We need to pull a design out that is so smashing game times and just promote it.
Fuck.
I'm curious to see who would buy it, honestly.
I would rock the shit out
I
of
mean,
it.
I'd do it too, but I'm like, I'm very curious now. I would like we have all these listeners, which is great, but I'm curious, like, who think like I personally think that like that's the greatest thing we've ever thought of in this whole entire what 4 years, almost 4 years now.
If you are listening, wherever you're listening, I don't know. I guess Spotify lets you leave comments, but we don't check those. Go go to YouTube. Go find us on the internet wherever we're at. If you would wear a "fuck the algorithm, tell a friend" T-shirt, tell me, and we will make them. My issue with T-shirts is that I always want the material to be right. Jake ordered a Smashing Game Time when we were with who was that? What was that company? I always feel like
Trident.
when we were with Trident, Jake ordered a shirt and it looked
It
nice,
was
but
so it was so
it's
terrible. It fell apart instantly.
very cottony. Is it like, do you see him? Is it falling apart on him?
Last time I saw it, I think there wasn't much of it left as far as like the actual, design.
It just says "Smashing Gay Time." And everyone's like, "What's up with that shirt, Jake?" He's like, "Well, yeah, it used to say Smashing Game Time, guys."
It just says smashing Tim. Who's Tim?
What? Jake's like, "Well, actually, that's a different shirt. I actually do have a shirt that says Smashing Tim."
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want a "fuck the algorithm, tell a friend" T-shirt, let us know, and we will see what we can get going. If we get going now, it'd be here just in time for the holidays for the
Oh.
ones you love. So yeah, give us something to consider there. That's those are the chores. I don't think we have any more chores here. We gotta. So for those wondering, what are you doing in the show today? I usually do that up top for you. Let me do it now for you. We're gonna talk our games. We're gonna talk some news because we technically haven't recorded in 2 weeks, so we've got some stuff to catch up on. And then we're gonna do. We played the DLC of Alan Wake. Josh, you played the DLC of Alan Wake, right?
Oh, yeah, Nick, I've 100%ed it.
Save it. Don't blow your load
I
yet.
know.
Don't blow
I
your
know.
load
I'm
yet.
just telling you. I'm just
I we're recording this on Tuesday. This comes out Wednesday. I just beat them last night. I stayed up till about 1. I have to beat these. I have to beat these. I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't get them done. And I wanted to play something else today when I had the free time. So I wasn't going to use that free time on Alan Wake.
like you
And
just did it sooner like I did. You'd be in a whole different spot.
exactly. But so we're going to finish up our book club for Alan Wake. Hey, we finished a book club. We get one
Yeah.
a year. We get
Well,
one a year.
hold on. I've finished all the book club games so far. You've only finished one.
I've finished 2 now.
What was the second one?
This and Transistor.
Oh, I'm thinking back to Death Stranding again. So I've done 3 of them. You've only done 2.
Yeah, but you know what? That's just again, when was Death Stranding? Was that 2 years ago now?
Wasn't Jake was still a part of the podcast?
I think that was 2 years ago now. It's like I told you when I failed that. When I failed to complete it for the book club, I was like, "This is the truest form of a book club, Josh. You've got people who finish it and people who don't."
I'm the only one dedicated to the damn craft.
Hey, I finished. Hey, I'm 2 for 3. If I were playing baseball, that's a good day at bat right
No,
there,
that's
man.
that's a good. Yeah, all right, you've got your point, but still,
So we're
I
finishing.
need more dedication.
We're finishing our May book club. I know it's June. Get the fuck off my back. Let's get into what we've been playing. I only have one listed here, but I have been playing a few. So let me rap at you about what I've been playing. So I jumped back into Iron Harvest with my son, who loves watching the robots fight, and I've been getting my ass beat by the AI, Josh.
How the
Specific,
mighty have fallen.
specifically when the AI is playing Usonia, which means Usonia is still broken as fuck from when I played it religiously 4 years ago.
Well, that's because probably the last time it was updated was 4 years ago.
I want to say the last update was probably 22, maybe early 23, but they didn't really do a lot of balancing in some of those later updates, which is sad because there was a healthy multiplayer community around the game for a while. I will say it is nice that I've been seeing because all like just about all my friends on Steam are from when I used to play that, so it's nice to see like a handful of friends that still hop on and play it recently, actually. So that's been nice. And I did watch. So YouTube recommended one of my old Nick Fat Night videos, which is actually my most watched Iron Harvest video. Which is you might have seen this one, Josh. It's titled "This Match Almost Broke Me," and I think
Was
it's
that the 40-minute one?
it's the 40-minute game.
Yeah.
And I think the guy that I play in that game is I think his username is Erect Man. And I think I'm still friends with him on on Steam. But it's a good match. If you guys have any interest in watching some mid-level RTS gameplay, multiplayer gameplay, I do think that's one of my better videos just because it's a stressful match. I was streaming at the time. Yeah, I was streaming. So it's from one of the streams I did. So I'm in there, I'm talking, but I also have a friend on Discord talking to me throughout it. And it's a pretty good match. It gets sweaty. It gets really sweaty. Both of us just start throwing units into the wind. So go watch that because I was skipping around on it the other day and I was like, man, this game used to be a lot of fucking fun, man. And now it's gone. Now it's dead.
I- It's only dead because the developer gave up on it.
Yeah,
That's really it.
they stopped at the balance, and I just don't think they had a long term plan for multiplayer. So the fact that they got a year and a half out of it was more than they intended.
I mean,
And
I'm sure there's probably a very niche, small community of modders who still play it and work on it and stuff, but I would have to see what that looks like.
King Art Games is working on their next thing. I don't know if it's going to be an Iron Harvest sequel, but I mean, it would be nice. I think we need more RTS games that follow the traditional format of game where you're paying $60 for a single player and multiplayer. The main thing is the single player. Everyone comes in and plays the story. And then if you want to stick around for multiplayer, you can. Just because every other month it seems like there's an RTS. It's going to revitalize the genre, and it's free to play, and it's just there, and everyone's like, it's not StarCraft 2. I when I was still living up in Chicago, I think I backed one on Kickstarter for I think I backed it at the $100 level. And you know what the dumbest thing about that is? It's a free fucking game.
So what'd you get with the $100 version?
Just a bunch of bullshit skins and a bunch of early access that I never used.
Oh, you sick fuck.
Well,
That's like a
the game's not even 1.0 yet. I think it's Gates of Fire or something like that.
yeah, I'm sorry if they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a free to play game." You ain't getting anything for me to back you up, son.
I think I still have the game downloaded on this PC somewhere. I'd have to track it down. But I mean, it's fine. The StarCraft format, I never got into it. Oh hey, you have these units that are, gathering materials, taking it back to the base, and I didn't like those base builds because the thing with Iron Harvest, you weren't like building a big blob of units and just going and attacking. You were instead were like positioning and like, all right, put these guys in cover over here, set this mech up over here, use this mech to kite this enemy that's like trying to snipe me from across the map. And yeah, I love the positioning of it as the opposite is like where folks are just like, all right, I got like 200 units. I'm going to go attack. Oh, they're coming at me. I need to move back. Okay, now let's go. Oh no. And they kind of ping pong back and forth on the map. And it was always funny watching like bigger RTS players play Iron Harvest and play it like that.
See, and that's my problem when you talk me into playing with you is that's I mean, that's how I play RTSs. I just tried to mob
Hmm.
because that's what I mean. Like that's for me, my most played RTSs are Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2
Well, in Halo Wars
with
and
a mixture of civs.
Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2, you can get away with mobbing. You can get away
Right.
with it.
That like well, that's the whole idea is you either mob or you strategically split up your units and um, try either to split theirs or pincer them. That's basically it.
Right. Whereas with Iron Harvest, it's more like what's the Company of Heroes where you have cover. You have different levels of cover that you can use, and then positioning just becomes key, and you're trying to like snake off the enemy. I mean, base it's MOBA. You've got your 3 lanes, you're
Yeah.
trying to hold your 3 lanes, but you don't have to get mobbish. You can just kind of, oh, I need artillery over here to hold this flag. Meanwhile, I've got my anti-infantry mech over here holding this flag, and I've just got to try and keep everything in these 3 areas and not mob. What else have I been playing? I'm my
Minecraft.
I mentioned Minecraft earlier. It's fine. It's Minecraft. I just after a while you get bored. You're like, hmm. I think the coolest thing in Minecraft is like discovering a new cave that was like two steps away from you the entire time, and you're like, whoa, this has been here this whole time. Holy shit!
I mean, because of your Minecraft talks, I've been watching a lot more videos of space engineers. I'm like, God damn it, I'm about to get back into my space engineer sphere mode, aren't I?
We did a little
Where
bit of Space Engineers when we were
oh
streaming
no,
together, right?
we did a little bit, but you kind of gave up on it. That's when I was trying to pick it back up again. Now I'm like, I kind of want to pick it back up again and just like do what I've always wanted to just start on Earth. I have all these mods where basically I have all these type of different enemies that come at you.
Hmm.
I basically want to start from the ground up. I want to build an underground base. I want to expand myself out of the Earth, take over all of the Earth, launch myself into space, and basically set myself up that every time I do that, or every time I take over a planet, I start to like automate a bunch of things to like mine for me and create things and just expand at an unstoppable rate.
I just remember when you and I played, you were just like, "Hold on, I'm gonna put codes in. Okay, we have this ship now," and then we would just fly. But all right, we're
Oh,
gonna fly. We're
because
gonna
I had
fly.
the easy takeover and I was like, hold on, wait a second, let me go because I was really good. Somehow these big ships in one of the mods are so easy to penetrate. It's like, hold on, let me just fly up here and take this. I would die like 3 times, but I eventually would get it. I'm like, okay, we got a ship.
So yeah, we didn't really do a lot of engineering. We would just be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to
So we're gonna
space
take
now."
over. Yeah,
Y-
oh, because you're like, well, what do we do? I want to go to space. I'm like, well, we don't have an easy way to get to space right now. Like, I want to go to space. I'm like, oh, fuck, hold on.
When you sold me on the game, you were like, "Hey, we can go to the moon." It's like, "Well,
We, and we,
take me to the moon,"
hey, it took us 3 days, but I finally got you to the moon.
and we would crash into it every time, or we would
Yes.
overshoot it every time. One or the other.
I think we overshot it once, and the second time we had the space war or the space drive, and we warped basically right into it.
And then we would crash the ship and then basically strand ourselves.
Yes, and you'd be like, "What do we do now?" And I'm like, "Well, we're kind of screwed, so enjoy it."
The game's over, we won. The other big one I started, I've been playing South of Midnight. This came out back in February. I forget the developer for this. This is it kind of looks like claymation set in, I believe it's New Orleans, right? I'm blanking on the setting. South of Midnight. But no, this is a nice little game. So, I started this back in February, and after playing the first 30 minutes, I'm like, this is fine. This is okay. I like it, whatever. And Josh, you know what I discovered? Did I lose you?
Oh, I said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. You know what I discovered?
What's that?
This is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
And honestly, that's all I need. I mean, we're not going to get Ubisoft is not going to release theirs anytime soon, or I can't say release. They're not going to finish the remake.
The remake that was supposed to come out 5 years ago. Yeah, it's never coming.
Yeah, it's never
No,
coming.
so from a fully gameplay standpoint, this is Sands of Time. You have combat, you have these cool little needles that can help you see strands that like show you where to go, and you use these to beat up these enemies that kind of look like these mucky little they're ants. And they're scary looking, by the way. They're very it's very Southern Gothic. I don't think the game's set in New Orleans. Actually, it's just American Deep South. I don't think they outright say. He plays Hazel Flood. Ironically, a flood comes and takes your mom's house away. So you're chasing the house. You're trying to find the house the entire game. And combat very much like you'll have 4 or 5 enemies at a time. You'll attack them, and then when they're down, you press Y with the needle or with your weaver tool, whatever it's called, and it like basically dethreads them. Which, if you remember Sands of Time, if you pressed Y with the dagger, it would suck up the sand creatures.
Mhm.
Same premise, same idea, and it gives you a little bit of health, mobility. Like I was serious, I was playing the game and I was like, man, this is starting to give me Sands of Times vibes. And then right after I said that, I unlocked the wall run, and I was like, oh my god, it is,
It's
it
Sands of
is.
Time.
I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for the game to do something where it's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you can rewind time too while you're at it."
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at that point.
The last power up I got is you find your doll from your childhood, like it's washed up. I think it's like the 5th level or something, and it's possessed, and you can use it to like get into small spaces and like unlock areas that you couldn't get into before. The story's really nice. Like I said, you're trying to find your mom. To get around, you have to collect these strains or like these painful memories for people. And in one of the first ones, I don't know if you saw the trailer for this when it was announced, but there's the big fish that you kind of like hang out like gives you a ride around. One of the early levels, you find him like in the clutches of like a wooden man that's in a tree. Well, you find out the backstory of the wood man in the tree, and it's the saddest goddamn thing you'll ever hear. It's been, I don't want to spoil it for you. It's sad. Uh, and then as you are unlocking this secret and going to confront the wooden man in the tree, a sad a sad blues song about what happened with this guy starts playing, and there's like vocals about what's going on, and it's just this is just this is a great game. I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
So I was looking to see who developed it. Didn't realize it was the same team that made We Happy Few.
It's the We Happy Few folk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Compulsion Games. Oh god, I forgot they did that. I think this is better than We Happy Few.
Well, I think at this point, no offense to them, We Happy Few. I remember it being announced. And I was like, "Oh man, that actually kind of looks really cool." And then it came out, and I was like, "Oh, it's basically Bioshock, but it's
Bad.
more depressing and bad."
I will say the one thing I'm not liking about this, which is the one thing I don't like about most third person action games, is the jumping is kind of wonky. I mean, I loved Hi-Fi Rush, and again, jumping was very weighty, very just too heavy. And looking back at Prince of Persia, yeah, the jump. The jump that wasn't like you jumping to the wall to run was very rough.
I think that's the one thing the, the third person action games have a problem with is honestly just the platforming in general. They either do it really well or it's just there's nothing in between. It's always like
Yeah, there's some early platforming in this that I'm like, ugh. Just because like everything is marked by like a white instead of yellow paint, it's like a white, like roughed out ledge because other people have been on it. And just the jumping and because like you can barely make the jumps. It doesn't you feel like you're not going to, but then you click to that. And it just feels like I've never gelled with the jumping in these kinds of games. And honestly, that's my one beef with it. I my 3050 is having some issues running the cutscenes. I get some of the same issues that I had with Alan Wake 2, where dialogue would be like 10 miles behind what I'm saying, or 10 miles ahead of what I'm saying.
yeah, that does not sound promising.
It's a very pretty game. I probably need to go in and fuck around with the settings a little bit to like get it to run properly on this.
Are you doing it through Game Pass?
I am doing it through Game Pass.
I almost think Game Pass because yeah, you have Nvidia. And I don't think Nvidia's software is picking it up, so it's not optimizing all your games on Game Pass.
Mm. Does Nvidia not pick up Epic Game Store stuff either?
It may not actually.
I may need to look into that. That could explain a lot because so Steam like Nvidia will pick up a Steam game though, right? It'll be like,
Oh
"Oh
yeah,
shit, dog, you bought it on Steam. We got you."
yeah. I can't speak for Epic just because I don't. I used Epic a few times, and even then, the games I picked up weren't really intense, or didn't require me to go in and change settings, or I just could play it off the bat. But uh, yeah, I think with it being Game Pass games too, it probably is not picking it up. It probably doesn't have any reason to do it.
I'm gonna look into that. That's something I'm gonna look into. And you just reminded me I need to take a look at my drivers. It's probably been a few weeks since I've updated any drivers. So thanks for the
That might
reminder,
help too.
Josh.
You're welcome.
So yeah, that's South of I knew when I was going to like go in and finish games for Goaty, so I knew South of Midnight was going to be one of the first ones. So I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna get into Avowed, do some Adamfall, try to get some Doom in. I do want to play Clair Obscure. Everyone keeps talking about it, and it's killing me. I want to play it.
I'm not gonna play it until I get a physical copy, and just they're just not making any more, or they're in the process of making more, and I'm not gonna get scalped.
I don't think you're ever gonna play it. So that's what I've been playing. Josh, what have you've been playing some scary, some spooky video games, Josh?
I have. So I'll start with Signalis. Um, so I did my first boss fight.
Okay, is that the one with the cage?
No, it's the one where you have like the animatronic who like has the face barrier where you have to wait until um, they have to take it off to like refresh. You can only shoot them then. They can bring back the enemies that you have to use the flares on to keep them dead permanently. Otherwise, they just keep reviving them to
Mhm.
come at you as well. It's right
How
before you meet the administrator.
okay, how was the boss fight?
At first, I was getting frustrated because didn't realize they kept reviving. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, what do flares do? And I was like, oh, it burns. Duh. So they introduced that, so you have to go use the flares. So once I did that, it was actually pretty easy. Um, and then I just got to the next boss fight.
Is that the one with the cage?
That is the one with the cage.
Okay, that one I remember being very like spooky.
It is, but I realized, or at least it's coming to my attention after unlocking the. It's technically not the Magnum, but it looks like the Magnum because it's a revolver six
Mhm.
shooter. I guess I can't go back to all the floors I visited previously, or at least not for a while. But I left a couple things on each floor. Not that it would like be super beneficial, but I'm like, oh, I left some ammo up there. Oh, I left a stun rod up there and some more flare. Like I left all the stuff, and I'm like, I can't get back up there, can I?
Yeah, once you like, because at one point there's a hole, and it's like, do you want to go down this hole?
Well, right, it does it to you like multiple times. I'm like, oh, well, there's an elevator here, so I imagine at some point I'll get a key to let me go back upstairs. No,
No, no,
apparently not. And
you
I'm like,
never.
oh fuck.
Yeah, once you go down the hole, you're down the hole.
That's just it. That's to me. It's not that it's stupid. It's just like if I would have known, I would have made a trip and gotten this stuff. But I'm like, now that I know that, I'm like, part of me's like, I don't want to start over again because this will be the fucking second time I've done it. But at the same time, I'm like, God damn it, I want all that stuff because I'm sure it'd make all these fights much easier. Especially once they introduce all the new enemies, like the defender ones, the ones that carry the shields.
Mhm.
Those fuck. I mean, they're not hard, but they are just a pain in the ass to deal with, especially when there's multiple.
I mean, this is a very easy game to just run around, Josh. Just run like I got to a point where you were at where I was like, I'm not fighting. I'm just gonna run out of this room.
I've started to realize more and more, like, oh, I can easily just outrun a lot of these areas, and I started doing that too. But I'm like, now that I know of that, part of me just kind of wants to go back just so I can save as much ammo as possible.
Well, you see, and you dropping the ammo wherever you want, that wasn't an option for me when I played this game. So, you know, the box mechanic is a gift and a curse, but from what I'm hearing, what you've got's more of a curse right now on you.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 6 slots because so used to it playing Resident Evil. Like that's nothing. It's just frustrating not being like Resident Evil. I can go back.
Mhm.
That's not a problem. I can go back and pick up all that shit. This game is like, we're not going to tell you you can't come back because unfortunately, a lot of the text is not in English. Some of
Yeah,
it is, not all of it. It's like, I don't think any of it does say like, oh, you won't get back. But I'm like, if I understood anything it was like remotely saying in it, I don't think it's is it Russian?
I'm not I thought it was again, I haven't played the game and since I reviewed it, when was that? 2 or 3 years ago at this point?
I
So I
think it was
couldn't tell
two.
you.
Yeah. Either way, uh, it'd just be nice to know ahead of time, like, hey, just FYI, you don't have to be like straight out like, hey, go pick it all up. You'd be like, hey, make sure you think about what you're doing before you do it. Like hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah. You just stop dropping shit, Josh. Just so wait,
I don't drop anything. I see it there and I'm like, okay, I'll just come back for it later. And then I end up like finishing the puzzle and I'm like, oh, okay, well I can just keep going forward. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
yeah, just know anytime you drop through a hole that you're not coming back.
Well, I've been learning the hard way. And part of me is like, damn, I left so much of that 357 ammo around. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have murked this boss without even like blinking an eye.
But you know what? You'll be better. You'll be better without it. You'll be a better gamer without it, Josh. It's spooky. It's
I'm
spooky,
gonna go
right?
back. It is very spooky. It's not like I wouldn't say it's like, oh, I'm scared, but it's like, oh man, it's actually gives me like it reminds me very much of, at least in the sense of how it like the camera works. It reminds me of Resident Evil Gaiden.
I feel that. I was getting a lot of Silent Hill 3 from it when I was playing it.
I can see that. It's very interesting, and I definitely want more story, and I hope it does as I continue to start to build up more
Oh, it
because
does.
I'm very intrigued. Okay, it's like I'm very intrigued, but it's like where I'm at, I'm like it seems at least somewhat slow, but I'm assuming that's just the pacing.
And I'm just gonna tell you, and I don't think this is a spoiler, and I'm only telling you because you didn't understand an inscription that when you got the thing that you got, that you didn't beat the game. When you get to the ending, keep playing.
Will do.
Okay. I just wanted to. That's not a
Hey,
spoiler. I hope that you don't think that's a spoiler, but like, just keep
no, I
playing.
don't. I do like the fact that all the trophies or achievements are completely like they don't give you any explanation. They just expect you to play the game.
Yeah,
I
I
kind of like that.
I love that. I think achievements are just too ingrained into everything, and everyone's like, I have to get these. I have to get these. I think when the game like doesn't like make a big fucking deal about achievements, I'm like, yeah, man, that's pretty fucking cool of you. I don't give a shit either.
I like them. So here's how I put it. When it's play the game, do all the collectibles, all that, great. I think that's like or like it's like Alan Wake remastered. I think that's why I liked it so much was it wasn't like, hey, we want you to do these really difficult tasks. Like you need to. This is not like Gears of War where you need to kill 10,000. What was it? 100,000, 10,000.
Gears 1 was 10,000 multiplayer players, and then Gears 2 was 100,000 enemies across all game modes.
Right. So that to me is like, yeah, eventually if you keep playing it, you'll do it. But that seems very like if they didn't have the the was it the Grumach?
Yeah, the Brumak level at the end
Brumach, thank you. Yeah.
where you're just it's you're running through the emulsion, just killing all these locusts, and I think it ends up being a couple thousand that you get.
Yeah. It's like if they
Ugh.
didn't have that, it's like you know how long that would have taken if you just did it without doing that? I'm sure like that's a long time. Like that's too much work.
It's just annoying. It's like, "Hey, we really don't want you to play anything else but this." I
It,
people complain about games, live service games, but I mean, the games were already trying to fucking take all your time out away anyway with all these bullshit achievements. Like, the amount of times I rolled my eyes when I got a new game in the 360 era, and half the achievements were multiplayer. I remember, like, I think Fear was one of them. I was like, "Man, I ain't using all these fucking guns. Fuck off, Fear."
yeah. And I remember like later on when it was no one was playing it, I remember you and Anthony would just sit there and work on the achievements. So you'd like turn on the game, walk away, let him do his, and then vice versa.
Man, what a time. And so, see that you've also been, double dipping in Alan Wake, Josh?
Yes. So I obviously 100%ed Alan Wake Remastered, and I was like, you know what? I want to keep going down this Remedy train. I'm gonna go get Alan Wake 2. So I went to my local library. I guess checked it out. Uh, honestly, day and night comparison, like it is I mean, not want to say it's a completely different game, but it's a completely different game.
That fir that first, section that you play as Saga is really good.
Yes. Like I was not like I jumped a little bit.
It's spooky, especially, so for those who don't know, you open the game as Agent Nightingale, who looks like shit, by the way,
And he's butt ass naked.
and he's butt ass naked. He's hanging brain, and, you get co yeah, dude, that opening part where you start to get cornered by the cultist
Hmm.
is terrifying.
Not only that, but I had the unfortunate timing of right as we got to the scene where like they're tying him
Mhm.
and you can see everything. Uh, I had to pause it because Ruby was getting, or Ruby, dear Lord, uh, Charlotte was getting upset. So I'm sitting there and I'm rocking her, and he goes, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Seriously?" And she points at the screen. All you see is nothing but balls and shaft. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do?" She's like, "Just hurry up, put her to bed so you can get off this." And then of course the next time it happens, we're in the morgue and you can see it all again. And she's like, "What the fuck?
He's got dick and balls, leave me alone, what do you
I
want?
can't I can't help it. It's just how it is, babe. It's a game."
He's got dick and balls, I'm sorry.
But no, like seriously, probably one of the best first hours I've had in a game in a long time. I enjoy it. Like it's
Are you in the first Allen section yet?
I've already beat the first. I've so I'm actually at the point now where you can switch between Saga and Alan. I'm like I'm gonna go ahead and keep like I'm afraid I don't know like because obviously they're giving you the options and I'm like well obviously they're expecting you probably to finish one and then go to the other or just switch in between so you're not bored.
Mhm.
Like all right, well since they put me back as Saga, I'm gonna do Saga first. So uh, I'm basically just getting back into the overlap again.
Okay. And how are you liking the mechanics like, I think it's, what is it? It's the room for Allen, and then it's the investigation room for Saga. How you liking
Yeah,
those?
I actually enjoy. Like, it's really good. I'm curious to see what. So obviously, what so Alan obviously has the ability with using the dark presence to write a manuscript, make it come real.
Mhm.
I'm curious to see how they tie it in to this whole universe they're making because with her Sokka going into it reminded me a lot of I can't remember the character's name, the character from Control.
Yeah, I'm blanking on Control Girl's name now too.
But every time it goes like when she does like a profiling, it very much reminds me of her going into like the memories of the items she picks up.
Hold on, I'm looking up her name right now. Uh, no, Google, I will not use your AI. It is it Mikhail?
That might be.
Jesse Faden.
Jesse. It just for some reason, it just reminds me so much of her, and it's like, I wonder how they're gonna obviously, they just excuse me, all the references to the, FBC. I love it.
Yeah, and they hit you with them very early on because you walk past the one
Yeah.
technician working at the station.
Mhm.
He's
And
like,
then when you
FBC, man.
yeah, and then you come back from the overlap and you hear the machine going off and you go inside and it's like, error, AWE. What does that mean? And it's like, well, obviously it means like Alan Wake emerged or something like that. And it's like, I'm curious, like there's like so much going on, but besides the like everything we've seen with the FBC, it's all been within control. So it's like I'm very curious to see what's going on. How are they obviously know something, but how much of it do they actually know?
One, I'm interested to see how they. 'Cause I think the only game that hasn't been roped in is Quantum Break. Quantum Break hasn't been like fully like roped into it. Like
Right.
you have some actor connections there with Alan Wake 2 with the sheriff. Um,
Right. So
otherwise,
yeah.
I don't know because you can't do Max Payne 3 because now Rockstar has it, and Max Payne I think is kind of touched upon because of the Casey novels that Alan's written.
Mhm.
Those are basically
That's
basically
basically
Max
it.
Payne.
Right.
So yeah, it's up in the air. It'll be interesting to see how everything comes together. Anything else on Alan Wake 2 before we hop on over to the old news?
I especially enjoy um the live action stuff they have going, like the talk show.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was about it. It's just, man, it just feels so right.
I think that's where I left off. I think my save, if I were to open it back up, I'd still be on the talk show.
Okay, so you just got to the Allen stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty early on and I fell off because my computer was running it like dog shit. And there were apparently some bug fixes that needed to be done because I was having bugs that other people were having issues with at time of launch.
No, so far really good. Highly recommend giving it a try if you haven't.
I'll go back based on that now that I have all this free time. But hey, Josh, you got some news for us?
Oh, I sure do.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
All right, what's first here?
Starting on top of the list, 007 First Light is Hitman Dev's James Bond game will be revealed this week. Yeah, that's right. We're finally getting a James Bond game after God, what was it was technically that remake of Goldeneye, wasn't it?
Wasn't that like 2012 or 2013?
Yeah,
It's been a while. It's been
yeah.
a little bit. By the way, this is a GameSpot piece by Jason Finelli. This 007 game's coming from IO. Uh, these are the guys with the Hitman games. The last 3 Hitman games have been bonkers. So I can only imagine how this is going to play. I think what's really going to set this apart will be, you know, the gadgets you have at your disposal and just how big the game is going to be. I can kind of see maybe like maybe they pull a hitman and each level is just like a James Bond. Like I don't know if like each
A scene
one's
from
gonna
like different movies or something.
either scenes from different movies or like just their own creations. And I don't know if there's gonna be a big central narrative around everything that's going on, but you know maybe like there's a Vegas level and like okay this bad guy's in the casino. You need to go play him in cards. You could play him in cards, or you could sneak into his hotel room while he's playing cards and steal the information that you need.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's definitely going to be more of a level based where you maybe interact with different bad guys and have different ways you can do it. But I think overall the biggest question is going to be: is it third person like Hitman, or are they going to keep it truly James Bond experience and make it first person?
So the tricky thing is we don't know who Bond is. Like they don't have a
Mhm.
new Bond for the films. So it becomes one of those weird things with okay, so who are you cuz even in this first light photo, we don't have a like it's just someone it's a silhouette of somebody. So that's a good question because it's like, are they going to be beholden to whoever they get cast as Bond, or are they just picking a model and going with that, or are they just going to go first person and we never see the guy's face? What are you doing?
But it would be weird because they haven't really are I mean, they probably have like a while back, but with all the Hitman success, their true guns are third person. So it's like I don't I think they're gonna go first person because I the only time James Bond works in the third person is all of the car levels or the car game.
We'll see. I have high hopes for this because again, those Hitman games have been great.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hey, this is this week's Summer's Games Fest, so maybe that'll
Yep.
be the thing that blows our ass out of the water. I'm still blown away by the Perfect Dark trailer from a few years ago. So
Right.
I think Summer Games Fest is the one show where like a big AAA thing gets shown, and then you're like, oh wow, that actually looks really promising, as opposed to like the rest of the year where AAA stuff gets shown, and you're like, okay,
Maybe they give
whatever.
us the Ubisoft experience where it's like this really good looking game and the game finally comes out and it looks like shit. And you're like, what's going on, Ubisoft? What this is not my Rainbow Six.
All right, Josh, what do you got next?
Moving on, American RuneScape players are recreating the Boston Tea Party after Jagex hiked taxes. This is a PC Gamer article written by Rich Stanton. That's right. So, ironically, Jagex is a British company. So it's just beautifully, yeah. Uh,
For those watching, I've pulled up a clip from the internet. Yeah, this guy's just throwing tea from the menu into a body of water.
yes. Um, so yeah, basically, this is like the second or third tax increase on the I think it's all the sales. So basically for like they have like their in-game currency, they have their on their membership and all that. So I think like this is like the second like the second I think it's the second increase now. Um
Uh,
and people are just tired of it.
can I read this quote from the piece over at PC Gamer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, this is from Rich Stanton. This quote is well, first of all, I read Jesus Bacon and my brain broke a little bit, but Jesus Bacon was not alone in going full Freedom Eagle on the changes. They took a page from the British Empire, rather poetic from a British gamer, from a British game after all, says that guide, that Jim dude. It is great meme material and some lessons from history in it. How ironic for them that their player base is majority Americans who have a very effective method to deal with said tactic. History repeats itself.
Yeah. I just want to throw that in for the memes, honestly, because
Every
just
year,
why? But
Josh gets one RuneScape story, and he used it on
I
that.
do. I
So,
use it on that. It was you can't tell me that wasn't worth it. I mean, Jesus Bacon alone was pretty fucking good.
what a great fucking screen name, Jesus Bacon. What you got next?
Moving on, Summer Game Fest schedule. That's right, guys. We're just around the corner for that. This is a video game chronicle article written by Chris
Sulian?
Scullion. I almost said, yeah,
Sulian? You got it.
yeah. So obviously, it's just around the corner. What is it? 3 days away? Oh, technically, from the recording, it'll be 2 days away.
Yeah, so let's run through. By the way, Switch 2 comes out this week. What a busy fucking week.
Yes, it is.
Are you getting one, Josh?
Not immediately. I'm gonna wait and see.
I might try to steal one. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let me know how that goes.
I'm gonna sit outside of the Walmart and
Gonna,
wait for a scalping motherfucker that looks like they have two or three.
as if you're not scalping motherfucker, you're probably gonna wait for some little kid. You don't need this kid. I'm doing you a favor.
Just push him down. No, I'm gonna get a scalper. Or what if it's like a kid that's scalping? He's like, my mama and papa gave me enough money to buy two so I could scalp one. Hee hee. And then I push him down and take both.
You monster. I love it.
Yeah, so this summer Game Fest schedule. So there's the Accessibility Ability Showcase on Friday. That looks like, what is that, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll take a lot of this on Friday. So Summer Games Fest is on Friday. I guess this is where Jeff Keighley comes out of his coffin and graces
Yes.
everybody. This is 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Day of the Devs is Friday right after that at 7 p.m. Devolver Direct. I love Devolver. They always got some good stuff. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. The IO showcase, that's where we'll see some Hitman stuff. Bond will be there. Mind's Eye, which is a game that's been in the news lately, will also be there apparently. That is 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Wholesome Direct opens up Saturday at noon Eastern. Women Led Game Showcase Saturday, June 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Latin American Games Showcase June 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Southeast Asian Games Showcase 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Green Games Showcase. They've got the greenest games there. That is 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Future Game Show, 4 p.m. Eastern. Frosty Games Fest, 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Xbox Showcase is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Apparently, Outer Worlds 2 Direct. So they're doing that thing where they have their big Direct show and then they end it with like a more in-depth view at their big game. I think last year wasn't that the space game that sucked? No,
Oh, that was like 3 years
that
ago
was
or 2 years
that
ago.
was 2 years ago. What was it last year? What was their big thing last year that they're like, "Here, we're gonna do more time on this one"?
It wasn't E-Day, was it?
No, E Day is too far off. It wasn't Doom. Man, what was it? I don't know. Maybe I think it was Avowed, probably.
I could see that, yeah.
Probably Avowed. Uh, Speaking of Obsidian, they've been fucking busy. What do you know?
Right.
PC Gaming Show is 3 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, June 8th. Death Stranding 2 game premieres Sunday, June 8th. That game comes out pretty close after that, right? It's like a few weeks.
It's like Father's Day.
Oh
Pretty
man,
sure.
hell of a game to put out on Father's Day.
I'm
Uh,
actually thinking about getting it now because I'm like, ah, man.
it starts out PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yep.
I'm fucked. Black Voices in Gaming, Monday, June 9th. That is at noon Eastern. I think that wraps up the show. I didn't realize they had as many presentations as they did.
Yeah. And for those who are curious, for the most part, all that can be viewed on YouTube. A good chunk of it on Twitch, but uh, it's hair and miss for the most part. But otherwise, YouTube/Twitch.
You can get it directly from the tap, or you can watch someone react to it because there'll be 50 fucking streams of people reacting to it.
Yeah, don't. I hate those. I hate. Oh, I need content. Okay, You guys are gonna react to my reaction. I'm gonna react to the reactor who has the reaction of the reactor
You
of
know,
the show.
you know how I feel about the word content. So whenever I don't know, it's always fun. It's always funny when like someone posts a trailer or something or some like a video from the internet, and then there's like a goober down in the corner reacting to it, and the first thing you see on the internet on Reddit or something is someone like, "Why is there a guy at the bottom of the thing?" So, oh, he's reacting to it. That's his stuff. That's what he does.
Ugh. Like I hate people I get like if so like, I got a couple of like YouTubers who I'll like go back and watch like a video of theirs and they'll be like, no, I'm not gonna react to it live. And they'll like maybe they'll come back later on, like maybe a couple days later and be like, okay, yeah, let's watch this came out, this trailer, yeah, let's watch it. Like that's fine, I think. But if you're reacting to it live, you're a piece of shit.
I mean, I enjoy, shows like the Giant Bomb and all those folks, but I don't need to sit there and watch them reacting to whatever's being announced.
Yeah, I could care less about their opinion at that point.
Yeah, just, I don't know, watch like you guys can just watch the trailer yourself. You don't have to watch
But
people watch the trailer.
but me and Nick will be live reacting to
We will
the
be reacting to all these, so you better come watch us react instead of
come.
watching those other guys
Yeah,
react.
yeah. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
They're the algorithm. We're the real thing, baby.
What else you got, Josh?
Uh, Activision has removed ads from Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Warzone. This is instant gaming news by Tiabot. Tiabot? Tiabot.
This is a nice looking site, Josh. I like this site.
It's very short though, but that's okay because it gets the point across. Yeah, so in the latest, second to latest update, um, Black Ops 6 and Warzone, in between loading screens, basically had ads. Obviously, there's been so I know Nick. We talked about like with Alan Wake, they had a bunch of like product placements. Like they had Rayovac on there, and what was the other thing we saw that we talked about?
Well, Verizon was on there.
Verizon, yeah. It's like I think that is already like treading the line, but it's still geared towards okay because it's always going to be there as part of the story.
Mhm.
This shit here, this was never okay. And I know companies are trying to do whatever they can to make as much money as possible. If you ever try to unless you are a mobile game, and even then, if you're a mobile game, more than likely, I'm not going to play you if you bring up ads. I'm going to fucking murder you.
You heard it here. If you have ads, Josh will murder you.
So thankfully, there was enough outcry, and it cracks me up because Activision comes out with a tweet and says basically, uh, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Call of Duty Warzone, UI feature tests that surfaced select store content in the loadout menus was published in the Season 4 update in error. This feature has now been removed from the live game.
They might as well have just done the not the GIF, but the emoji that's like,
Yeah,
sorry, wasn't supposed to happen, bud. We're sorry.
like no, that shouldn't. I mean, obviously, it's only like they weren't like, hey, come buy Xbox Game Pass. It was like obviously it was their store stuff, but no, I I do not need to see more ads. I don't care if it's your shit. I don't know. Well, we're not going to go down this route, people.
Yeah, the one. So it's like on the screen for players to choose. It's like there are ads on the screen where you're choosing your weapons as well.
Yeah,
Like I can't think of a worse spot for it because no one is actively looking at that. Whereas, yeah, if you're playing like a burnout game and you drive past a billboard, and like there's a billboard for like whatever other game EA is selling, you're like, okay, whatever, fuck it, it's there. But yeah, not as I'm selecting what gun to go kill somebody with.
and of all things, a skin. I could give two shit. Guess what? My gun can look like a fucking unicorn's ass.
This
I
AK,
don't care.
this AK-47 brought to you by Pepto Bismol. That's right. Shoot a kid down from Iowa and then go fucking take Pepto Bismol for your muddy ass
Yes.
and your heartburn and indigestion.
So it's good that the player spoke up, and I'm sorry, Activision, you can sit there and be like, oh, no.
Josh, it didn't sound like the players needed to speak up. This sounded like it was just an accident. It sounded like this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't supposed to happen.
Josh, Activision said it was an accident. They tweeted it. They said, "Hey, we're sorry." It wasn't even an image. It wasn't even no tap apology. It was just a regular old, "Hey, we can fit this into character limit. We're sorry if this wasn't supposed to happen."
We're sorry that you have. This is the only first-person shooter you like to play.
For those only listening, Josh was just rubbing his nipples very suggestively,
was.
saying he's sorry, which implies that he's really not sorry.
No, they weren't really sorry. They got caught in the act, and rather than being like, hey guys, we were trying to do something different because we like to make money, and it kind of didn't work out because you guys didn't like it. So we're sorry.
We're sorry.
It accidentally got released. It wasn't supposed to have. Oh, really? Accidentally? You kept it out that long? It accidentally?
We've got some quick news scoops here. Speaking of apologies, you know who needs to be sorry is EA. Speaking of EA of all people,
Oh God.
they canceled the Black Panther game and closed the studio that was working on it. I forget the studio's name.
Cliffhanger Games.
Cliffhanger Games. What a fucking cliffhanger. Heart goes out to those affected by that. We're not going to cover that too much. It's been covered to death everywhere else. Josh, you got a meme for us?
Yes, I do.
Me.
Time.
All right, what you got?
We have a milk carton that says, "Have you seen me?" And it's Nintendo 2 Switch.
Then did you call it the Nintendo
Wait.
2 Switch?
I I did. I meant to say Nintendo Switch 2. My brain said, not today. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2. Have you seen me? Because I don't know if you've heard this, Nick. Obviously, they do come out later this week. That part you knew. The part you probably didn't know is there's pretty much nowhere right now where you can pre-order it. Like they're all out of stock, including Nintendo's website. they've gotten to a point where Nintendo is actually sending out of stock signs to stores.
Nintendo's getting ahead of it. They're like, I mean, that's good for them. They want it to
Yeah.
seem like it's you know, falling off the shelves and missing. I don't remember if you showed me, but I remember seeing the photo of Switches, the Switch 2s in a cage at Target. Like they're already there like a week ago, and someone just had them out on a cage, like locked up, obviously.
It
But
wasn't me, but it wasn't me, but yeah, I did see that, and I was like, "Oh dear lord."
you got
That's
to be
just
careful.
asking for somebody to come in and steal it.
As someone who used to work at Target, we would not have left that on the floor.
No, that would be back in the back, locked behind the door.
Yeah, that would have been something brought in the back. I know the Nintendo guy probably would come in and like show you like, all right, here's how we want the display. But yeah, that cage is staying back under lock and key. Whoever's in electronics that day is the only person that has the key to it, and then whoever the electronic shift manager is has the key to the cage.
Yep.
Because that's man,
That's just asking.
could you imagine a whole cage going missing?
That store would be shut down because Nintendo would sue the shit out of them. And then
Nintendo
whenever
be
those serial numbers came up, the people who bought them would be sued.
Nintendo be like, hey, we heard you were just leaving cages laying around. Step into our car. We need to have a conversation.
They were found later that day swimming with the fishes.
Nintendo, they bring back Regis, not Regis. I'm blanking on his name. Why am I blank? I'm kicking ass and chewing bubblegum guy. I forget his name. I think it's
Dude,
Reggie
you're
actually. Reggie. Just look him up, Josh. Just type in Nintendo Reggie. You'll know who I'm talking about. I'm gonna wait for you to type that in because it's like Reggie Philomene.
Oh, Phil's Ein.
There it is. It's getting late. It's the baseball blues. The baseball blues got the T-ball blues got my brain all over the place. But no, he puts you in the cage that they put you in a version of the cage and just put you in the water and forget about you.
Yes.
Sick shit like that. Good meme, Josh. Let's get to our final book club chat of Alan
Alan
Wake.
Wake.
So there are two. They call these specials, but these are the DLC of the original game. There's two. First one's called the Signal. Second one's called the Rider. This is my first time playing through these. Actually, I was super surprised at how short both of these are. You can get through them about 50 to an hour, right? 50 minutes to an
I
hour.
would say. Yeah.
But you know what? I also think these are better, and these are a better ending than episode 6.
Oh, 100%, so much better.
100%. So special one, the Signal opens up with Alan, kind of just waking up out of whatever happened. Because the ending of episode 6 is very ambiguous. You're in the room, you're in the dark place. Alan wakes up back in Brightness Falls, but it's all like jumbled, right?
Bright Falls.
Did I say Brightness Falls?
You did say Brightness Falls.
I'm getting it mixed up with that movie Darkness Falls.
Yes. So he wakes up from, it's not a lake, it's an ocean, back into the diner. And he wakes up in the bathroom, and Thomas Zane is still there with him. And he's like, hey, dude, wake the fuck up.
Yeah, the mirror TV was really cool in that moment.
Yes. So Thomas is like, yeah, you're still in the dark place, dude. You need to get your shit together. And he's like, just follow my signal. And he goes, what do you mean? And basically the whole time it's you following the signal.
I just want to point out a few things. Early on, there's a lot of combat in closed area, like tight spaces in this episode.
Literally right off the bat, right inside the diner.
I love it.
Yes.
I know like there are some areas where it's a pain in the ass, but this is great. This is probably one of my favorite areas in the game, just fighting in the diner. Great opening. So Thomas Zane says follow my signal. You get a Verizon phone down the way. And by the way,
as a GPS, yes.
As you're as you're going through. Wait, did you say can you hear me now?
No, he said it's also your GPS.
To GPS, you're using that to find the signal. We should add that as you go outdoor, so like you go out of the door of the diner, like different parts of the map start appearing randomly, and it's the darkness fucking with you and kind of playing with your memory. And I think that's cool. I think that's awesome that they're able to reuse some assets to make
Mhm.
a new DLC instead of creating brand new areas. I mean, that's why they were probably able to pump this out as fast as they did. Uh, I don't see when did this come out. This came out July 27th, 2010. So about 2 months after the original release, I believe. So they pumped this out pretty quick. When was the Rider released? October 12th, 2010. So they took a couple months, but like if they had to design whole new maps, this would have taken way longer. These would have been like a year later.
I mean, I see why the writer took a little bit longer, just because it is to an extent a little bit like yes, they reused some of the material, but a lot of it was actually new.
Yeah, there were some new areas in that one. Um, there was speaking of the Verizon phone, he answers the phone, and Thomas Zane says, "Can you hear me now?" Which was
Yeah,
the catchphrase for Verizon back then. I believe it was Verizon. I'm blanking on
yeah, it was Verizon.
which just drove me. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. All right.
Hey, they're getting paid to do it, man. I'll give it to them. It doesn't affect me one bit because I mean,
If
Verizon
it's
doesn't even use it anymore.
if it's getting the game made, I guess go ahead. But he said it. I was like, no, why? Fucking why? No, you didn't have to do this.
I mean, I mean, honestly, within the first hour of playing, you see Rayovac, you knew shit was gonna get real. All right.
Yeah. The other thing I really like these two episodes steer into the one thing from episode 6 that I like, which is the words popping up all over the place and you having to shine a light on them to make them
The word,
appear.
the words of power.
The
Yes.
words of power. And I think that's really cool. I don't remember which DLC it is, but there's an area where you have a bunch of booms that you can light
That
off.
is that is sick. The writer.
That is the rider.
Yeah.
I think they use it a little better in the rider than they do here. Here it's just more of a, oh hey, you can find some
Extra equipment
yeah.
and here's a better flashlight, or hey, here's a bridge now.
Yeah. I do think they get a little more experimental with it in the rider, and I think it works way better in that. This one is also missing a lot of those side characters. It's just Alan and Thomas Zane for the most part. You get some side stuff with Alice.
You get some Barry.
Barry's not in this one. Barry doesn't appear until the second one, right?
No, he's in this one.
Okay, so, he starts following you around in this one, and then things play out.
Yeah, because it starts out like once you get to like where you met up with him in the actual story and behind the parking lot,
That's right.
then he starts to appear because he starts talking to him. He's like, "You're not real," and he goes, "I'm as real as you are in this place," hinting
That's
at like where he's at and what's going on, but not actually giving him the exact answer he needs.
that's right. You get him about halfway through the signal, and then he's like the first thing you see in the rider. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
And I was thematically, I was looking for things to pull from this one. Um, this one actually has a boss fight, by the way, which I thought was pretty cool. You fight like a tower of TVs while the darkness is throwing other things at you, and you have Taken attacking you. And I think this one's about like external distractions for a rider. Uh, maybe not like a person, but like from the point of like a place being a distraction or like an because does this one start to touch on Alan's alcoholism a little bit? 'Cause I know they touch it on, I know they talk about it a lot in the rider, but I don't remember if they do a lot of it in this one.
no, I don't think they do it. See, and I kind of took it as an interpretation of like the conflict that comes within the writer because we saw all the external stuff, a lot of it in um, the original story. Where this, it feels like we're actually seeing like yeah, we were seeing the manifestation externally of what was going on, but we weren't seeing the manifestation inside.
Mhm.
And it just because it's like one moment everything's working great and you're finding yourself, and the next everything's getting shifted around and you're getting yourself lost even further because the darkness just instead of guiding you the correct path. It kept trying to push you further and further away because it was like, no, you're not the same person. You just need to give up.
I really like how this one got away from pages and instead had like a lot of the manuscript being read out by scratch over the
Hmm.
TV. And building off what you said, I kind of like how this one, because I mean, Alan is a self-insert protagonist, and it kind of feels like there's some self-hate there, because I think it's revealed Scratch is basically just Alan but asleep. So
Yeah.
he's having a nightmare, but he's like creating this terrible world for himself that he himself is in. And so there's a little bit of self-loathing, there's a little bit of, self-defeat, and I like the destructions of the destruction of the TVs. I don't know. TV's kind of distracting. So it's like, yeah, Alan, you beat those TVs. Get Mr. Scratch out of here. Uh, Anything else on the signal that stood out for you?
No, I mean, like I said, I think they touch on it a little bit better with 2 when you talk to Thomas Zane about Mr. Scratch.
Mhm.
Because at the original, well, I mean, we'll get to it, but uh, in the end of chapter 6, Thomas Zane does explain, like, hey, Mr. Scratch, this is Mr. Scratch. He's basically going to take your place for you while you're in the dark place.
Mhm.
Like, hey, this is going to be like your standing guy. You'll be all good. And then, like, throughout the writer and the signal, he's like, no, Mr. Scratch is like, he's like very ambiguous about it. And he's like, I'm not going to explain Mr. Scratch to you. I'm going to leave now. Bye.
Yeah, there's a weird relationship between Wake and Zane, because I think there's some awkward unspoken stuff between them about like, okay, who made who now? Because
Yeah, it was
there's
very much the which came first, the chicken or the egg.
wait, who did I make you or did you make me? Why did you give me the clicker? Like, oh, I didn't get you wrote the click. You wrote me to give you the clicker. Like, no, you like there's a little back and forth, and it's kind of funny because it just feels like those two are spinning their wheels as they're just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And Wake is learning from Zane, because Zane has been in this exact situation and completely fucked it up. And so it's cool to see I and that's something I think was missing from a lot of the main game. Like, I wanted a lot more of Zane. Instead of him
Mhm.
just leaving pages laying around, I wanted him to be a constant, because I feel like I don't know, he's a good character. He's a fun character to have around. Like, I love Barry, and I think Barry is the one of the best supporting characters in the game. But I like Zane too. Like, if Zane were there and Barry like saw him, I think it'd be fun to see how Barry is reacting to Zane.
You ready for me to blow your mind?
Are you gonna? Is it an Alan Wake 2 spoiler?
No, 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 no. Well, no. I mean, no, not yet. I don't know. I haven't
Just
gotten that far
just
yet.
blow
No.
my mind, god damn it.
So when you're playing Alan Wake and you're in the darkness, like when you're in on a level in the night, it's nighttime. If there's no music playing, you can actually hear somebody in a scuba like tank or a scuba suit breathing.
Oh, the entire
Like he's
throughout the
the
entire game.
entire there's the entire game. So every time it's nighttime and there's not music playing, like you're not fighting enemies or anything, that's all you hear is
See, it's so quiet it's not even coming through.
but like when you're playing it, you hear like he's breathing. It's like it's very much like yeah, he's actually following you the whole entire time. And he's like, remember how I think it's chapter 3 or 4, he's like, I'm trying to follow you and drop down the manuscripts at the right times for you. It's
Well,
basically you can actually hear him throughout the whole entire game.
hold on. I'm popping up on YouTube, see if anyone's put this up here so we can hear it on the show. Uh Still though, even though you can hear him, I'd like him to be a more constant presence.
No, I agree, but it definitely adds a little more in like it's like, oh shit, no, he really is. He's literally it makes you think, are you playing as Alan and controlling his actions, or are you actually Thomas Zane watching Alan and guiding him?
It doesn't have Yeah, no one has a video of it, but we'll do some digging. I want to hear it. I might just pop into the game and like just sit there. That's cool. I like that. I love little
I
stuff
I
like
didn't
that.
notice it until like I was going back and collecting all the thermoses, and I'm like, wait, that's someone. That's a scuba suit. I'm like, he's fucking watching you the whole time.
Uh, is this the one that ends with? Does this one end with the fight where you have all the poles that are like lighting? It doesn't end with it, but like there's a random poles.
Yep, and then they randomly turn on. You're getting swarmed by the Taken.
Great fucking moment. Probably my
Oh my
favorite
god!
moment in the game. Just because it's just
Betw-
so chaotic. You don't know if a light's gonna pop on and help you in that
mhm.
moment.
Between
That
that and the lighthouse.
yes. Yeah, again, like I think these two chapters are a better ending than episode 6.
Yes,
Like
100%.
episode 6 feels like a shitty penultimate episode where you're like, "Man, I hope they can land this thing." And
It
these 2
felt
are
very
like,
much like they
"Oh,
wasted all of their budget on like the first like basically all the episodes, and then like they didn't get renewed, so they just quickly hurried up and finished it.
these feel great." Like where episode 6
Yes.
felt like they were sitting there like, "Oh man, we did all this open world stuff. No one's going to get to see it." And some dumbass intern was in there that day. They're like, "You guys could just have them drive a lot in the last episode." And they fucking slapped him and said, "Get under your desk. That's a good idea. We're taking that. That's my idea. That you stay under your desk. Don't come back out. You do your
Yeah.
coding down there." Yeah, I didn't like episode 6 at all, if you couldn't tell from before. But these 2 really, really bounce back because, I mean, there's just so much new stuff they're experimenting with across these 2 between the words and then just the world constantly changing. There's some platforming, which, platforming's never been the strong point in these. Again, third person jumping, not the greatest, but this is fun. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the last fight. Getting into the ride, I think I like the rider even more.
Yeah, the writers are the best of the two. Honestly, I will agree that the platforming, just the tornado. God damn. So I did. There's a achievement of okay, get through the first tornado within 30 seconds. I did it the first try, no problem. I was like, great. Then I'm going back and collecting, and that one it's the video
Yeah,
games.
there's 10 video games, yeah. Night Springs video
So
games.
yeah, so I did the first time too, and I'm like, oh, it was the I had to go back because I had died. I got like towards like I think it was just at the light poles, and as soon as I was getting ready to hit the safety light to get the checkpoint and get healed, one of the throwers threw his sickle at me and hit me and killed me.
Yeah, those tornadoes are annoying because you have to shine the light and hope that you get a decent bridge that you can jump
Hmm.
on, which I always jumped on the school bus. And then you have to angle it just right when you jump on, and then you have to angle it just right when you jump off. Just irritating.
And I mean, in Alan's defense, he is jumping in like dress shoes of some sort, like loafers. So yeah, his jumping is terrible already. Yeah, no, but yeah, that's the worst of it. After that, though, I think it's by far one of the best DLCs we've ever seen, at least for the 360, in my opinion.
So there's an area in this as well. I think it's the infirmary, or like you're in a basement that has all these and like ovens that you can like make explode.
Oh, you're in the church and it takes you down to the basement. The basement turns into like a
Like a crematory almost.
yeah, crematory. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just that's fun. There's an area in the woods where you have all these different words. Like you want to use the booms, but if you use the booms, it's gonna make more taken
Hmm.
because the booms will light the words that say taken and they'll become. It's just so much fun. And then you get to a point where the light, so you have a lighthouse that's just floating, and you get the lights back on, and you have these rocks that you have to like make disappear because then it creates a bigger lane for the light to hit as enemies are approaching. Just fun moments for you to run through. And
Hmm.
then this one ends on like a really good boss fight too, where the boss fight with Barry, I think it's pretty good for the most part. End up fighting Dr. Hartman, you fight the old guards of Asgard as well, and then you fight Barry 3 times, which I think is like one time too many, but the whole time he's yelling at you and bringing up some stuff from Alan's past, his alcoholism, how it almost cost him his career, and you kind of feel for Barry, like, Barry is a taken and just like a figment of Al's imagination, but you feel for Barry in the moment. You're like, "Hey, goddamn." Barry's like had to keep this all together, and he's kind of been just like Alan's buddy the entire time, and you don't know how much that's affected Barry and how much he resents Alan. But then you're also like, well, this is the version of Barry that's in Alan's head. So Alan is imagining that Barry feels taken for granted. So, and again, I haven't played 2, so I don't know if Barry's in that.
As of right now, where I'm at, he has not been brought in.
I hope he pops up. He's a goofball. I love him. Josh, anything else on the writer?
Like I said, by far probably one of the best DLCs that came out of the 360. I mean, it's really good. Like I'm more upset that I didn't play it when it came out. Like you, I never really played them when they originally came out. I never had an opportunity.
I had him. I don't think I played him though. Any closing? So, hey, end of book club. Any closing remarks on Alan Wake?
Really good game. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I don't know, was it me or was it you who brought it in?
I think I brought it in because you had friendly neighborhood, whatchamacallit. No, maybe it was you. Because no, I was Mafia 3 and Gears Tactics.
Okay, so it was me. I'm glad we did it. It's honestly, it was like, yes, it's not aged very well. Yes, as a remaster, it really doesn't shine as it should. However, it made me appreciate Remedy even more. And now that I'm into Alan Wake 2, I'm like, honestly, like I said, Alan Wake 2 is a whole different game. But at the same time, I know what to expect as far as the darkness goes. But at the same time, I don't, because it's such a different game.
Makes me want to go back and play Control. Actually play Control. Go
Mhm.
back and play Quantum Break again. All these games, they have a really good catalog. The replaying Alan Wake, I'm reminded of why Red Dead Redemption ate its lunch back at release.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Red Dead was obviously the better game. But no, this was fun. I think they made a great decision in cutting out all the open world stuff. I think it would have been not a disaster, but just too much. Just too much going on. Just you have an interesting character. You have a good take on the storytelling meta that you're taking a stab at. You don't need an open world. We don't need all the driving. By the way, I love how the word I love how the word was able to sneak in a few driving areas
Right.
because as I was playing it, I was like, "Hey man, no cars, ain't this great?" And then like a second later, I see wheels. I was like, "Son of a
Yes.
bitch!" But it's a
I didn't
very
even bother.
it's
I
a
didn't even
very
bother with it.
it's a very short moment because it's throwing it because then you have a few taken trucks, and I was like, "Okay, I'll get in the fucking car. Fuck you, fuck you."
I didn't. I was like, no, you're not gonna get me. Plus, it was an achievement not to get into a car.
Oh, not to get in a car at all in the rider.
Hmm.
I'm not going back and getting it because I do not care. Sorry, Alan.
I 100%ed it. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, I was very happy we went back and played it, and I hope Alan Wake 2. Like, by the way, they did a great job still sneaking that we kind of want it to be open world, but we don't want it to be open world.
Yeah, I like again. I've that opening area with Saga is really good. Like a really nice big open space that you
Mhm.
can kind of just run around and explore, even though it gets very spooky very early on in that moment.
Hell, I think after the overlap, it gets even more spookier.
I need to go back. Hopefully the bugs are all gone. Hopefully my computer doesn't test it or run it as
Well,
badly
you
as
got
it
it
did.
on. You have it. You got it from Epic Games, right?
Yep.
We'll look into it and we'll see if we can't get that. Make sure it's not optimized for you already.
Yeah, you got to come over and give me some ROM, so that's something we can look at when you come over.
Yep, thank you for reminding me. I gotta make sure I do that. Make sure you remind me on Friday as well.
Yes, ROMs. No, so Alan Wake, I think it's a really cool little meta story about storytelling. Again, the standouts are episode 4 and then the episodes 4 and 5 and then the DLC are probably the 4 best parts of the game.
Yes.
If you can only play a few parts of it, I recommend those parts. But no, I like the things that it said. Yeah, I like a good meta story, and I like one that wears its influences on its sleeve, and Alan Wake does that really well. And now Remedy has like this whole universe that this is part of, and that's really cool. So I'll be excited to see where it goes. That's the show. That's it. Everyone, get out of here. Go home. That's right. We're done. It's over. special announcement though. We are going to have a guest on next week. It'll be our first guest in a while. I'll have to make sure OBS is popped up for that. I have to make sure I still have my scene for that. Oh, more work on the podcasting side. No, we're having
All
Mark.
work and no play for Nick.
Yeah, all work, no play. We're having Mark Smith from Game Chronicles over. That's the site Josh and I wrote for before they called it a day. Site is still up, but it is now in archive mode. That was as of, I want to say it was May 26th. So we're done with reviews over there. We want to bring Mark on as a way to send the site off and, just talk to him about running the site and things that he learned along the way and things if he were going to start again today, how he would do so. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to get Mark on and talk about that stuff. They gave us a home to write for the last 4 years, and it was fun cutting our teeth on that and, learning some things from some folks and almost getting in trouble for posting a GIF from Unpacked that I wasn't supposed to post.
Fucking troublemaker, you.
The review rules that I got weren't very clear. They said I could, like the way it was worded, it seemed like I could share GIFs, but they didn't specify that it was GIFs only of levels that were public. And I shared one of a level that wasn't public. So it was just like, oh, fuck, my bad. Whoops.
It's okay. Nick and them getting a slap on the wrist, and they said it's all good. You're fine.
Mark slapped the shit out of me. He said, "You'll never review a game in this town again." And I never reviewed another game again. That was my first game, by the way, I think. I had no idea. I just figured I saw that it said GIFs were fine. I was like, cool, I can share this GIF. Oh well. It'll be fun to talk to Mark. But let's wrap this show up. Let's get out of here. You can find me over at bluesky@nickkaufman.com. I also have a website, nickkaufman.com, where you can find just a bunch of stuff I do. I have stuff from Hard Drive. I do satire pieces over there. They're all on the site. Go check my stuff out. I'm also on Twitch and YouTube at nickfatnight. Haven't done a Wordle stream in a little bit. I need to get back into it. So we'll get back on the saddle with that. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at I'm Josh Saying. I currently don't have a spot for my words except for our website, smashinggametime.com, where the podcast lives in all its glory.
Yeah, I was already. Yeah, smashing game. Yeah, you fucked me, Josh. You fucked me.
I know.
You fucked
I know
me.
I did.
smashinggametime.com. That's where the podcast lives. We have words over there. Goaty So's coming up, folks. Get ready for Goaty So. All the Goaty So stuff's going to be over there. We're going to have Goaty So list. We're going to have, I'm working on a review for Humanity. It's going to be a fun little review. It's not going to be like a, oh, here's my 1,600 words. Read it, you fucking bastard. No, it's going to be a nice little review for a nice little game. Yeah, smashinggametime.com. Go check it out. It's getting late. I'm fading.
He's calling it quits.
I'm fading. Thank you as always to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. We have a link to his SoundCloud down in the show notes. Go check him out. Real good stuff over there. Let's get out of here, everybody. This has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.